What would I say to someone that is using their addictions to put off the next day? Because I've been there too many times to count, too many types of addictions to try to do that. I know more people than I can count that have also done that. So I'd say a lot of us have that in common, that you're not alone in that, and that I'm not alone in that, that none of us are alone in that. People that are putting off the next day. And I think there are two ways we can go about it, right? The first is the addictions that you have that are keeping you in a state where you continue to need them. And that sucks. That's really rough. When I've been using things to put off the next day, I don't want to stop using them because to me they're like they're the they're the thing that makes the next day not okay, but possible for me to do. When there's something in your life that allows you to make the next day, make you willing to face the next day. And for me, eating late at night was definitely one of those things. So many nights, and I would just watch things for hours, just feeling like this is my happy place. This is what makes the rest of tomorrow worth it, that I can get back to this the following day. And I understand how it is, but that there is a world, as in there is a mind state, there is a physical state in which you see the entire day as that happy place, that worth it place. And, right now, I'm still working on that. I'm still working on making my entire day feel like that happy place that I used to have to use my addictions to get to. If you become obsessed with healing, not healing like obsessed with people talking about healing. I mean obsessed with your own healing, like obsessed with me getting obsessed with what is going to actually allow me to take care of my body. It starts to shift, and it's not all at once. Like I remember, like, early this year when I was getting into healthier habits again, like it wasn't like I stopped eating late or stopped watching stuff or whatever. It's just I started to learn to exercise in new ways. I started to learn from people that were very experienced in fitness. And so that got me interested and obsessed with, okay, if I were to work out and really optimize my fitness at the gym, what would that look like? And so it just got me one at a time. It didn't affect my diet at first. It was just, let me just show up at the gym. Let me do the exercises that dude talked about in his YouTube video. Let me focus on this and that and track it and focus on training. And then, of course, I see someone's video or whatever, and I think, oh, I need to make sure I'm getting enough protein. And it's just one thing after another where you can hear in my voice when I said that, I need to make sure I'm getting enough protein. The kind of person that is addicted to something and is wanting to just stay in the same state of mind, same vicious circle to put off the next day, wouldn't say something like that. The person who says something like that is the person who wants better for themselves, is the person who is interested in growth, who is willing to change. Not all at once. No change needs to be all at once. That's actually not a sustainable way to make it happen. But over long periods of time where you start to get accustomed to it. And then I learn about fasting. And then I learn about, how to let go of certain habits, create games for myself. And so I would say that just be willing to be open to a possible new pathway without it feeling like it's threatening what you currently use as, I'm sure you would consider, your self-care routine. There was a long time where I considered late night eating, but now I have new things that have replaced that make me not only feel like I can get through the day, but get through the day feeling good about the day, get through the day feeling constant gratitude and grace, and wake up the next morning and feeling good, not feeling like shit. You know what I'm talking about. It starts with a willingness, and the willingness you can't force upon yourself. The willingness will come on its own. And when you spot that willingness, let it grab your hand and just have it walk with you. And you don't have to get rid of anything else that you think is helping you survive, because that's not what this is about. This is inserting healthy habits that make you feel good about yourself so that over time, over long periods of time, you let go of the things that are bringing you down. there might be things in your life right now that you don't think are bringing you down, but actually are. And for me, for a long time, that was weed. I was using weed off and on. I would take tolerance breaks and then come back to it. And I just know now, it's long enough in this state of mind, that it really was bringing me down. It was making me hazy and giving me lots of brain fog. I wasn't able to remember things as easily. And so it made it tougher for me to be there for myself when other addictions that were much more harmful to me were hurting me. And so I would forget my spiritual practices of gratitude. I would forget the fact that it's important for me to touch my heart and tell myself everything's going to be okay, because I was caught up in the overthinking that would happen because of the fogs and the storms and the haziness that was created by my use of weed. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to push them away yet. You don't have to. They will fall away on their own because you'll just want that. And it's letting yourself want something else that is the first step to it. A divine presence, if you want to think of it that way, a part of you that cares about you the most, if you want to think about it that way. If you want to think about it like an inspiring person's content, I watched this dude, Will Tennyson, on YouTube, and hearing about his eating disorder in high school and then how he transitioned away from that and grew out of it and healed. And now he, I'm not perfectly aligned with all the things he says now, but in that period of time, he just gave me positive things to get interested in. And I started to get obsessed with my own growth and my own development as a person, and saw, here I am again. I'm going up the mountain again. And once you reach the top of the mountain, rather than going back down the mountain and trying to do the whole thing again, that's when you got to jump and you let yourself fly and you let yourself be taken with the wings that you didn't know you had. Let yourself discover those wings. I promise you have them, because I have them, and I wouldn't have thought I did until I saw them.